Yeah, I don't remember anything about the show as I saw it that night. I have no idea what it was. I kind of figured probably I was acting. I was always dramatizing myself. I always figured I should have been an actress, but I could never put the work into it that it takes. But whatever it was, I made the phone call and gave him my phone number. And later, some girl called and asked if I wanted to talk, if I wanted to go to a meeting, and I did not. But I grew up without a telephone, and I never learned to be rude on the telephone. So I would listen to her, and I'd come up with good lies. You know, I couldn't go because. And it wound up, there were 3 women who called me every single day for 10 days before I finally told them who I was and where I was and come and get me. And they came, they talked, and I went to my first meeting that night. That was September 19th, 1959. And I had been the entire day without a drink. And I've never had to take one since then. Actually, the first meeting, the speaker was the guy who started the Long Island Council on Alcoholism. I didn't realize that until sometime later. But he was a businessman who could have been a customer in the places where I worked, because I worked in bars that had good food, and businessmen used to come in and, you know, have a bowl of soup or a bowl of clams and however many cocktails they could pour down. And he impressed me as being that type of man. And he talked about drinking his lunch, and talked about some of the things that had happened to him, and just the fact that he was now sober. The thing that impressed me the most was how nice the people were. And they acted like they really wanted me. You know, they really liked me. And the only thing that I hung on to was they kept saying, there's a meeting every night, and tomorrow night we're going to this meeting. That was a Wednesday, so the next night would have been Thursday, Levittown. The first meeting was in Amityville, and they were going to Levittown the next night, and we'll save a seat for you. They asked me if they could pick me up, and I said no. I never let anyone do favors for me. But, okay, they made sure I knew how to get there, gave me directions, and said, we'll save a seat for you. And when I got there, they had saved a seat. And that was the thing in the beginning for me, was these people, these women they kept saving me seats. And I knew that I heard right from the beginning that you don't drink in AA. That's what it's all about. You don't drink. So I couldn't take a drink because they were saving a seat for me, and I didn't want to disappoint them. So, you know, why I got the message, you know, I don't know. Because I hear people coming in so desperate and, you know, so filled with wanting to be sober, and I had no idea what they were talking about sober. I just didn't. But it made sense. They told me that there's an X factor in alcoholics that makes them react differently to alcohol than the perhaps normal drinker does. And since then, I have known normal drinkers. I've had a couple of friends who take 2 drinks and get feeling a little buzzed, and they don't like it and they don't drink anymore. They're strange, you know, but they're normal. That made sense to me, and they also told me that it was like an allergy. That, you know, it's an allergy that makes you want more of the thing that is causing you damage that you're allergic to. And that made sense because my daughter was allergic to strawberries. And she would eat strawberries and wind up with hives and at times not be able to breathe. But the next year she'd turn around and eat strawberries again. Just couldn't learn. And so that made sense. And it still does. I can't think of a better explanation.